Hello everybody. Welcome to my own little house. I'm Mary Catherine, and today we have yet another quilting video. And I know you may think that I'm on some kind of a quilting spree, and I'm not. It's just that I did recently finish this quilt top, and it's a teeny thing. Um, and I don't know. I didn't know what to think about it. I still don't know what to think about it. But then I saw just briefly, I think on Facebook, a picture of a quilt somebody had made, and I loved it. It was a square that had diagonal stripes, and then you can just put the squares down so that the diagonals meet in the middle. And I looked at that picture. I thought, I could do that. I have so many of those straight scraps that my friend Pat gives me. I've got hundreds of them, and you can put them together. You don't have to pre-cut them. You don't have to measure, make sure that they are, the same width going down or anything. So, and then you just cut them. If you have a little square like this, it's so easy to cut them afterward. This is my second pair of glasses. This is an 8x8 square. So when I get done, I guess it'll be a 7x7 when I sew it and use up the seam allowances. So that's what this little video is about. I think I've finished a good number of these, and I want to show you how I did it. So this is my method for doing these blocks. I have lots of these strips, and so I try to start in the middle and make sure that this square is covered up. Now sometimes I don't estimate correctly. I try to overlap them too, because I'm going to be doing that when I sew them. So it takes more strips than you would think. This might be enough, but I might need a little something else on the edge there after I do those seam allowances. And then this one here, try to get a lot of good contrast. This one's nice and wide. I love this fabric. So then I start in the middle and I sew them one at a time, and then I iron it and lay it over there. I have miscalculated at times and had to take out a little seam and extend, but generally I'm getting better about this. Now, I just want to mention that a very, very similar quilt square to this is being made at Kate Jackson's channel right now. And instead of laying it on a square like this, she actually has squares of white fabric that she puts down, and she lays her strips on there, and she sews them one at a time to the white fabric and to each other, and then she flips it and she cuts along the side of her white fabric, and then she has a double layer, and that's great too. I just don't have all those squares of white fabric. She already had those in hand, so I'm just using this kind of as my measuring base, and as you can see, cutting against the edge of this, which works really well. So we'll go sew these together, and we're getting very close to being done. Well, let me show you a good example of miscalculation. So here's this same square, and these three pieces were all nice and long, so they're obviously covering even after I've sewn them together. Then I take this piece. If I overlap it enough, it looks like I'm going to have a little gap somewhere. When I cut, I'm doing a 3/4 inch seam. I'm sorry, 3/8 of an inch seam. So I think this isn't quite long enough. Let me go find a longer one. Okay, so this is a much longer piece. And if you kind of have little stair steps like here, I think that's a good indication that your pieces are going to be adequate. So now I'll go sew this one on and continue, and I'm probably going to need another new piece in there too. And now I've got these sewn together. You can see when I overlap these, I'm still going to be quite short, so I need another strip in there, and I think I'm going to put this bright green. It's a nice contrast, and that should be enough. Hoping that's enough to get over that edge, just to get to the cutting line. It doesn't have to overlap it, it just has to go to the edge. Wow, okay, so you see I still needed a little teeny piece of something out here. You just never know, but you know, the more stripes the better. That's not a bad thing. All right, we'll see how this goes. I feel like I'm going to need more over here, but you just don't know till you try. Okay, it looks like I have covered all of my edges. Now I'm going to go iron it and then trim it. Okay, there's the wonky thing. This is kind of the magic to me, is being able to take something that is that unbalanced and looks that crazy, and then you just trim it, and all of a sudden it looks so great. And I'm amazed at how these blocks, no matter how different they are and colorful they go together. I love that. I'm getting a little better at using this cutter. You have to really press down. And I was a little afraid to do that before. I just love that. Then you put them all together and it's even better. Okay. Isn't that fun? Scraps. All right, it's 3 by 4 right now. Do you see what I mean about how they go together? No matter what you do, it's the diagonal that makes it work. And just, I mean, look at that. Oh, Lucy has to come investigate. Thank you, Lucy. But I love the way those 4 come together. I definitely need it to be another row over here and probably another row on the top. All right, Lucy, get off the quilt. This floor is the only place I have that's big enough to spread it out like that. There you go, Lucy. So, and I may move it around. Like, I don't like having these two orangey ones right there together. So I would definitely be shifting things around to distribute some of the brighter colors. I've got 2 greens in a V here and there as well. I love that bright green, but I love all these colors. I really love that one. That's the last one I did. But they're all great. They're all great. All right, I'm going to keep on going. This is probably it for this week's video. But I just wanted to share with you this new quilt I'm doing. Several times a day, I come out to my teeny tiny greenhouse. Look what's happening in here. I've got catnip. Those are my pitiful onions. And I've got lots of basil. Here's some little tomatoes. It's a little chilly this morning. I've got some other things trying to come up down here. That's some basil right there. I don't know what the other stuff is. It might not be anything but weeds. I've got a little tomato plant down there that I bought from somebody else. And it's kind of chilly for a tomato plant right now. Out in the cooler area, I have a couple of pots of lettuce and another little sweet pea that's going to try to live. These are some zinnia seeds that are coming up. They were so old, several years old, but I'd kept them in the freezer, and I think they're going to work. And then this is a little bush bean that again I bought from somebody else and put in a pot. I think it's a little chilly for tomatoes and beans, but there you go. And if you want an update on Dandy, she's in there. A friend of mine who is a chicken expert recommended that I put her in a dog kennel to protect her from possums and raccoons and stuff, which is probably very, very good idea. So she's probably in her last week, last few days maybe, and we'll wait and see what happens.